WWE has some of the most talented wrestlers in the world, yet surprisingly, several of them are currently stuck in creative purgatory, with little to no direction on television. The company has a long history of handling talent differently depending on the creative leadership, but recently, even the most promising wrestlers have found themselves in a frustrating position, underutilized or completely forgotten. These aren't rookies or developmental talents. These are wrestlers who have been at the top or have all the tools to get there, yet for some reason, they're not being booked in the way their potential warrants. In today's video, we're diving deep into 10 WWE superstars who are currently in creative limbo. From former champions to veteran stars, these wrestlers are caught in the waiting game, waiting for that next big break that might never come. Let's break down why these superstars are stuck, how it's hurting them, and what could be done to get them back on track. Naomi's WWE journey has been anything but conventional. After making a bold decision to leave the company in 2022 and join TNA, she proved she could thrive outside of WWE. Naomi became a staple of their Knockouts division, having some of her best matches there. She showed that she could be a headliner, something WWE wasn't giving her at the time. Her decision to leave, although controversial, was a statement that she was willing to bet on herself and take her career into her own hands, and that decision paid off. When Naomi made her highly anticipated return to WWE in 2024, the fans were ecstatic. She had stayed relevant by working in TNA, and WWE fans were ready to see what she could bring to the table. However, since her return, Naomi has been relegated to being a secondary player in other people's storylines. Despite being incredibly over with the WWE universe, Naomi is often just a backdrop for larger storylines, like the ongoing dynamic between Bianca Belair and other top stars. One could argue that Naomi's most prominent storyline since her return has been her partnership with Belair, as one half of the women's tag team champions. But if we're being honest, Naomi deserves far more than just playing second fiddle in a tag team division that's still figuring itself out. WWE did tease a potential feud with Jade Cargill, a storyline that would have been perfect for Naomi to break out of the tag team scene. But even that angle seems to have been dropped, leaving fans wondering why such a high-caliber star is not given the chance to shine solo. WWE needs to give Naomi more meaningful stories and let her carry the load, whether it's in singles competition or as a leader in the women's division. She's one of the most underrated and talented performers in WWE right now, and it's frustrating to see her potential being squandered. When you think of the WWE women's division, you can't ignore Natalya. She is one of the most consistent performers in the company's history, with a career spanning over a decade. But despite her in-ring skills and dedication to the company, she's found herself in a stagnant creative position. Natalya debuted in WWE at a time when the women's division was practically non-existent. Back then, female wrestlers were often relegated to diva status, and the opportunities to showcase wrestling talent were few and far between. But Natalya was always ahead of the curve, possessing the wrestling pedigree and technical ability that set her apart. As the women's division evolved and became more competitive, she found herself becoming one of the division's most reliable talents. Despite this, in 2024, Natalya's role on television has been limited. She hasn't had a significant storyline in over a year, and fans were only reminded of her existence when news broke that she had resigned with WWE in the summer of 2024. This wasn't exactly a thrilling update for fans. While it was great to know she was sticking around, it was clear that WWE wasn't investing in her as much as they should be. Rumors have swirled that Natalya might have taken on a backstage role as a producer or trainer, but WWE hasn't confirmed anything. And the idea of such a seasoned wrestler becoming a behind-the-scenes figure while her talent is left untapped in the ring is frustrating. Natalya should still be active on TV, helping elevate young stars or fighting for titles. It's disappointing that WWE has let one of its most reliable performers fade into obscurity when they could be using her to elevate the division, especially now that there's more emphasis on women's wrestling. Remember when Austin Theory was poised to become the next big face of WWE? After winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, Theory was seen as one of WWE's rising stars, a wrestler who could one day carry the company. His potential was through the roof, and fans were excited about the future he could have. But somewhere along the way, WWE's booking of Theory went off track. For months they teased a face turn for the young star, a move that would bring him a fresh new direction and possibly make him a fan favorite. But now, with each passing week, it feels less and less likely that WWE is committed to this shift. Instead of capitalizing on his individual momentum, Theory has found himself entangled in tag team matches, especially with the Australian duo A-Town Down Under. While entertaining, this pairing doesn't do much to elevate Theory's singles career, which seemed to be the direction WWE was supposed to go in. The issue here is not that WWE doesn't see potential in Theory, quite the opposite. Triple H has continued to feature him on television, but there's a feeling that the company isn't fully committing to him. WWE teased a big role for him, but like many others, Theory seems stuck in creative limbo, waiting for the green light to finally break through to the main event scene. If WWE truly believes in his potential, they need to stop teasing and start making real decisions about his future. Fans are already starting to lose interest in Theory's character because WWE keeps dangling the carrot of a face turn without ever fully pulling the trigger. It wasn't long ago that Braun Strowman was a monster, a force of nature in WWE. Under Vince McMahon's leadership, Strowman had high-profile feuds with top stars like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. He even won the Universal Championship at WrestleMania, marking one of the crowning achievements of his career. But since Triple H took over creative, Braun's booking has been far less compelling. Braun was brought back into WWE by Triple H after a brief hiatus, but his role in the company has been far from the dominant force fans expected. Instead of being booked in major storylines or matches with top names, Strowman has spent much of his time putting over younger stars or simply being another mid-card presence. While this is far from being a buried position, it's clear that WWE has other plans for him, plans that don't include him as a main event monster. The issue here is that fans still love Strowman. He gets great reactions whenever he appears on television, and there's no reason why WWE shouldn't take advantage of his popularity. The company could easily pivot his booking to once again make him a main event threat. Whether it's by putting him in a feud with a top star, or rebranding him as a more vicious heel, Strowman still has a lot to offer WWE. The question is whether WWE will recognize that before it's too late. When Shinsuke Nakamura won the United States Championship at Survivor Series War Games, it was meant to be his redemption. After years of floating in and out of mid-card storylines, Nakamura was given a title to solidify his place in WWE once again. But since that win, his reign has been nothing short of a disaster. Instead of making Nakamura feel like a true champion, WWE has booked him as a non-factor in the larger scheme of things. His matches have been lackluster, and his character has been all over the place. Fans who once adored Nakamura's charisma and in-ring prowess have slowly lost faith, especially after his title defenses have been limited to dark matches and barely acknowledged on TV. What's even more concerning is Nakamura's apparent loss of momentum. At the 2025 Royal Rumble, he barely received a reaction from the crowd, which is alarming for a performer who was once one of WWE's most charismatic superstars. It's almost as if WWE doesn't know what to do with Nakamura anymore, and as a result his career seems to be stalling. If WWE wants to salvage Nakamura's time in the company, they need to make a clear, focused push, whether it's by giving him a more prominent role on the roster, or by finally putting him in a meaningful storyline. It's clear that WWE has some incredible talent, but these 10 superstars find themselves in limbo, unable to break free from a cycle of missed opportunities and frustrating creative decisions. It's tough to see performers with so much potential stuck in these positions, but with the right booking, any of them could turn things around and rise to the top once again. Do you think any of these wrestlers will break free from creative limbo? Who do you think deserves a big push in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more wrestling content. Thanks for watching.